health seekers, Inga from Health Origins here. Today I'm gonna do a Caesar dressing and a kale salad. So Caesar dressing, I'll be using sunflower seeds, soaked sunflower seeds. Also, if you've been watching my videos, you might have noticed that our extractor hood has changed in the kitchen. The other one was like stainless steel, and it was kind of more in the way for me and Mark when we were cooking, but it got broken, and we couldn't fix it, so we've replaced it with this model, which is so great because now I've got all this space, nothing's in my face, and you know, it kind of feels more open. So there you go, a bit of an update about our kitchen. So let's get started with the Caesar dressing. So we're going to be making sunflower Caesar dressing. So I've got about a good cup and a half of soaked sunflower seeds. I'm going to be making more of the dressing so I can use it throughout the week for other recipes as well. But really, I think for kind of 1 or 2 recipes, you know, the amount for 1 or 2 recipes is probably enough. A cup of sunflower seeds. This is first time I'm making this cashew dressing with the sunflower seeds. I have made it, not that particular version, but just Caesar dressing with the cashews before, but I'm trying it now with the alternative of sunflower seeds because it's so much cheaper. And also it's great for, you know, people with nut allergies as well, and so I'm going to make it this time this way, but next time I might try to even, because these are raw sunflower seeds that I've soaked for about 3 hours, so you need to soak it about 2 hours or more, even best overnight. So these are raw, but next time I'm going to try and dry roast them first a little bit, and then soak them just to have that a bit more nutty taste perhaps. So I'm going to add my sunflower seeds to my blender. So I'm using my Thermomix blender here. You can use your Vitamix, Blendtec, or any other powerful blender. I'm going to be adding about half a cup of water in here for now and see how much more we need. So I'll add half a cup. Then I've got 3 cloves of garlic that I'm gonna press in there. You could probably just chuck the garlic in and the blender would blend it together, but I kind of want it to distribute as evenly as possible. I don't want big chunks of garlic, you know, floating about, so by crushing it you're kind of making sure that it's even, you know, more even. So get the other bits that I haven't come out of this, you know, of the garlic press, just put them all in and it'll blend through. So I've got that. Then I'm gonna put half a teaspoon of salt. I've got Himalayan salt, so I'm gonna put half a teaspoon in. We'll check for the saltiness as well. Then I've got some Dijon mustard, so I'm going to put a little teaspoon of that. The recipe I've looked says about 3 tablespoons or something, but I definitely don't want to put that much. I'm going to put just 1 teaspoon and see how it is, because it's quite strong, the Dijon mustard. In fact, just a very small teaspoon I'm going to put, just for a little bit of taste, but not to overpower. And also, the recipe states some black pepper, but to keep the dressing white, because after all it's white Caesar dressing, I'm gonna put a little bit of white pepper instead. So maybe a quarter of a teaspoon or so of pepper. And now we're gonna put about 3 tablespoons of apple cider vinegar for now, and we'll check it. In fact, I'll put 2 tablespoons, and also half a lemon. I'll juice half of a lemon. The difference between apple cider vinegar and lemon, the sourness is much more on the apple cider vinegar, whereas the lemon is a bit more sweet. The juice of lemon, so it's about a couple of tablespoons there as well. So I've got 2 of the apple cider vinegar and 2 of the lemon. So we'll blend this up and test it. So I've blended this. I ended up adding another full cup of water, so altogether there's 2 cups of water. For such a big amount of sunflower seeds, you do need a lot of liquid. So I've done that. Let's have a little taste. There's definitely some salt missing, so I think I'm going to put another half a teaspoon, because obviously your Caesar dressing is supposed to be quite salty as you're adding a little bit to your dishes, you know, so it can be a little bit more salty. So half a teaspoon of that, and I'm going to put another tablespoon of apple cider vinegar. In fact, I'll put another 2. So altogether there's going to be 4 tablespoons of apple cider vinegar and 2 tablespoons of lemon juice. And also the recipe that I was looking at didn't have that, but I will add about a tablespoon of onion powder, because onion powder just gives the savoury sauce, is just that yum factor, if you like. I just love it. And we'll see whether we'll use maybe a little bit of agave nectar for the sweetness, but it's actually quite sweet, so perhaps not. I mean, I don't really use agave nectar. I've bought it for a recipe where it kind of, you know, maple syrup was too dark, so I needed something like a clear liquid, you know, for making a cake or something. So that was left, so I'm kind of using it bits and pieces in, you know, different recipes. So, but we'll see if we need that or not. So we'll blend that again for a little bit with the extra salt, apple cider vinegar and the onion powder. So that has finished blending. It's been blending for about 3 minutes, I would say, in total, from start to finish now. And the consistency seems pretty good, pretty creamy. So let's have a little try now. And again, you know, make sure if you want for your sauces and, you know, dishes that you make to last longer, make sure you always taste it with a clean spoon. I've cleaned the spoon while it was blending, so it's clean again. Don't ever double dip with the spoon that you licked, because your enzymes in your saliva start digesting the food and it, you know, spoils quicker. So that's pretty good. I'm not sure what else I would add to this, actually. It's pretty good. So yeah, so we'll go with that. So that's the Caesar dressing. So we're gonna add some to the salad we're making, and the rest I'm gonna put in a jar. Again, with the jar, make sure you sterilize it well, because if you put in a jar that's not properly clean, you know, your sauce, even in the fridge, will start spoiling sooner. I've tasted the sauce again, and actually I think it could benefit with a little bit more salt. So I'm adding maybe a quarter of a teaspoon still of salt, and actually a little bit of powdered garlic, because Caesar dressing is all about garlic and I can't taste too much garlic in there. So about a quarter of a teaspoon of garlic powder as well. So that should be it. So I'm gonna blend it for another half a minute and we're gonna proceed combining the salad. So now we're gonna put the salad together. What I've got here, I've got a bowl of kale. So I've obviously washed it and torn it into smaller pieces. Then I've got some buckwheat. You can make this mainly, I think, with quinoa really, this recipe that I've seen, but any kind of grain I think would work. So I've got some buckwheat left over, so I'm adding a cup of buckwheat to that. Also, I'm adding some beans. You can add some chickpeas instead. So that's a can of black beans. So I'm adding them for a bit of substance to the salad. Then I've got, chopped in half baby plum tomatoes, because they're my favorite, baby plums. Then I made some croutons. I made some croutons from like a stale old bread. Well, the bread was getting a little bit old and actually a little bit moldy on the top. So what I've done is I cut off, all the top bits. It was like a homemade bread actually. So I've cut off the top bits, and I've chopped it up into squares, and I've grilled it, in the oven to make it into kind of quite into croutons really. So that's croutons. And then the two additions from my head are I had some kiwi left over, so I thought that might be a nice addition. So some chopped up kiwi and also some cranberries. So some dried and sweetened cranberries. And then now to top it all off, we're gonna put some of that Caesar dressing. So that's about big 3 tablespoons. I think you'd need about, for this amount of salad, you probably need about a cup of dressing, I would say, to make sure it's all nice and coated. So I'm gonna attempt to mix it up. I think really I should have opted for a little bit of a bigger bowl, but I'm gonna try and mix that up. The salad is mixed, and in my opinion, I've tasted it. It needs a bit more salt, so I'm going to add some to the bowl, and a little bit of white pepper I'll add to this as well. I'm going to mix it through. So there you go, the salad is complete. If you had some lemon, because I ran out, but if you had some lemon, you can, squeeze maybe another half lemon on here. Should be nice and fresh. So yeah, guys, so that's the sunflower Caesar dressing, which I'm going to keep in the fridge now, and also a kale salad made with it. And guys, the video would not be complete without me taste testing it. So let's give it a go. Quite good. I think maybe a little bit more salt and a bit of lemon, that would be perfect. So guys, let me know what you think of the sunflower Caesar dressing, and if there's any other sauces or any recipes you would like to see on the channel. And subscribe if you haven't done so, give me a thumbs up if you like my videos, and see you next time.